a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Mauro Icardi. Mauro Emanuel Icardi is an Argentine professional footballer who plays as a striker for Italian club Internazionale, for whom he serves as captain, and the Argentina national team. He started his career in the youth system at Barcelona before moving to Sampdoria, where he began his professional career. He joined Inter in 2013, where he was 2 times the joint winner of the Capocannoniere title in 2014-15 season and 2017-18 season, which is awarded to the top scorer in Serie A. Icardi is also an international with Argentina, having made his senior debut in October 2013. Early career. Icardi was born in Rosario, Argentina and moved to Spain's Canary Islands when he was 9. He began his football career with Vecindario in Gran Canaria, and scored over 500 goals in their youth categories. In 2007, he was disputed over by Barcelona and Real Madrid, after offers from Valencia, Sevilla, Espanyol, Deportivo La Coruña, Arsenal, and Liverpool. Barcelona won the race for Icardi, and signed with him until 2013. Icardi joined the Catalan club at the start of 2008-09 season and was included on the U17 team. He was promoted to the U19 team the following season before joining Sampdoria on loan in January 2011. Icardi later stated that leaving Barcelona was not a bad decision, convinced that his decision to move on was the right one. Sampdoria. On the 11th of January 2011, Sampdoria confirmed Icardi had signed with the club on loan until the end of the season. After a successful 6-month loan for La Samp, scoring 13 goals in 19 games with the Primavera team, the Italian side utilized the option to buy Icardi for €400,000 in July 2011, signing a 3-year deal. In 2011-12 season, he scored 19 goals in the Reserve League Group A, as the joint third top scorer of the league along with Gonzalo Barreto of Group C. On the 12th of May 2012, he made his first team debut, against Juve Stabia, after coming off the bench to replace Bruno Fornaroli in the 75th minute of the match. 10 minutes later, Icardi scored his first professional goal to win the match 2-1 for Sampdoria. On the 26th of September 2012, he made his Serie A debut for Sampdoria against Roma, substituting the Paraguayan midfielder Marcelo Estigarribia in the 49th minute. On the 12th of November, Icardi scored his first goal in Serie A in the Derby della Lanterna against Genoa in an eventual 3-1 win. On the 6th of January 2013, he scored 2 goals against Juventus in Sampdoria's 2-1 upset at Juventus Stadium. It was Juventus' second ever loss in the Juventus Stadium since the construction. On the 27th of January 2013, he scored 4 goals in a 6-goal thrashing of fellow strugglers Pescara, lifting the Genoese side clear of the Serie A relegation zone. On the 18th of May, during the final match of 2012-13 season, Icardi scored again against Juventus, helping the team to beat the eventual champions of Italy 3-2 at Stadio Luigi Ferraris. Internazionale. In late April, it was announced that Icardi would join Inter before the beginning of the 2013-14 season. The deal was also later confirmed by Sampdoria board. The transfer fee was €6.5 million for 50% registration rights. Icardi was officially unveiled as an Inter player on the 16th of July along with Algerian striker Rishaq Belfadil, where he was allocated squad number 9. He said that moving to Inter is a dream come true, adding that he had a lot of offers, but he wanted only Inter. He made his unofficial debut one day later during the 3-0 away win against Trentino Select 11 by playing in the first half of the 3-0 away win. He scored his first goal for Inter in their 1-1 pre-season friendly draw with Bundesliga club Hamburger SV, netting after less than 2 minutes on the field and being assisted by Freddy Guarin. 2013-14 season. On the 25th of August 2013, Icardi made his Inter official debut, coming on as a second-half substitute in a 2-0 home success over Genoa, hitting the crossbar late in the game. He scored his first league goal for the Nerazzurri on the 14th of September, netting the first of a 1-1 home draw against Juventus, after coming on as a substitute in the 73rd minute. Due to injury, Icardi missed most of the games of the first part of the season, only returning to first-team matches in February. On the 14th of February 2014, during the away match against Fiorentina at Stadio Artemio Franchi, Icardi returned in the field after 4 months, and scored the winner after only 10 minutes. Later, on the 5th of April, Icardi scored a brace during the 2-2 home draw against Bologna. That was his first brace of his entire career. This was followed by another brace during the 0-4 away win against his former side Sampdoria. Before the match, he was booed by the home fans, but he quieted them down by scoring in the 13th minute from a cross from Palacio, making a negative gesture which saw him booked. On the 10th of May 2014, in Javier Zanetti's last competitive match at the San Siro, in which Inter defeated Lazio 4-1 to secure a place in Europa League play-off for next season, Icardi scored the second goal of the match in the 37th minute after an assist from Kovacic and went to celebrate with Zanetti. He ended his first season with Nerazzurri with 23 matches in all competitions, including 22 in the league, scoring 9 goals in the process, with an average of 1 goal in every 145 minutes. On the 10th of June 2014, Inter and Sampdoria reached the deal to terminate the co-ownership, for another €6.5 million, making Inter was the sole employer of Icardi in the football field. 2014-15 season. On the 20th of August 2014, in Inter's first match of the season against Iceland's Stjarnan for first leg of playoff round of the 2014-15 Europa League, Icardi opened a 3-0 away win. That was his first European goal, in his European debut. In the returning leg, he came in as a second-half substitute and scored 2 times in a 6-0 win at the San Siro, to advance his team into the group stage 9-0 on aggregate. During the second match of the league season on the 14th of September, he scored his second Serie A hat-trick in a 7-0 thrashing of Sassuolo. 10 days later, Icardi was injured and substituted in the 24th minute for Dani Osvaldo during the 2-0 home win against Atalanta. On the 26th of October, Icardi netted his first Serie A goal for over a month, the winner on a penalty kick against Cesena, and giving Inter their first away win of the league. He was decisive again 3 days later, scoring a 90th minute penalty kick won by Zdravko Kuzmanovic in a 1-0 win against Sampdoria, giving his former side their first loss of 2014-15 season. On the 9th of November, Icardi scored twice after 2 assists by Palacio during a 2-2 home draw against Hellas Verona. This draw caused the sacking of coach Walter Mazzarri, who was replaced with the returning Roberto Mancini. On the 6th of January of the following year, in the first match of the second part of the season, Icardi netted the only goal for his team during the 1-1 draw against Juventus, at Juventus Stadium. The goal came in 64th minute after a pass from the Colombian midfielder Freddy Guarin. During that match, he had a conflict with his strike partner Osvaldo, who was angry with him after Icardi decided to shoot instead of passing to his teammate who was in a better position to score. Due to this, Osvaldo left the team in the end of January. 5 days later, Icardi was decisive in Inter's 3-1 home win against Genoa, scoring the second goal and earlier making an overhead kick which was turned into an assist for Palacio. In the match against Sassuolo, Inter lost 1-3 with Icardi scoring the only goal for his team after a mistake from the Sassuolo defense. After the match, he along with Guarin had a conflict with the fans at the Mapei Stadium. They went to throw their shirt to the fans who refused and threw them back at them, spewing insults at them. On the 7th of February, Icardi responded by scoring twice in a 3-0 home win against Palermo, refusing to celebrate in the process. After the match, Icardi told to the media that the reason he did not celebrate was not the conflict with the fans, but failing to find a way to renew his contract with the club directors. He was later criticized by Mancini for not celebrating. On the 11th of April, he scored the first goal during the 0-3 away win against Verona, helping Inter get their first win after 6 consecutive matches. He scored twice on the final day in a 4-3 win over Empoli and finished the season as the joint Serie A top goal scorer with 22 goals with Verona's Luca Toni. Although Inter failed to qualify for European competition for the second time since 1999, Icardi's form attracted attention from abroad. However, he signed a new 4-year contract at the season's end. 2015-16 season, captain. Before the start of 2015-16 season, it was announced that Icardi would be the new captain of Inter, replacing Andrea Ranocchia, who lost his status after a poor 2014-15 season. In his first match as skipper, he was taken off after 15 minutes. During the league win against Atalanta, Icardi was substituted for Stevan Jovetic, who scored the winning goal in the 3rd minute of added time. After the examinations, it was announced that Icardi suffered a thigh injury and he missed the following league match against Carpi. He made his comeback on the 13th of September during the 1-0 home win against the crosstown rivals of Milan, and opened his scoring account 1 week later against Chievo Verona, helping Inter to clinch the 4th consecutive victory. On the 27th of September, Icardi was again on the scoresheet, but this time in a 1-4 defeat versus Fiorentina, who ended Inter's undefeated streak of the 2015-16 season. 1 month later, on the 28th of October, following the 0-1 away win over Bologna where Icardi scored the only goal of the match following an assist from Adem Ljajic, he complained about lack of services to him, accusing his teammates in the process. Icardi told the media that, "In 10 matches I've received 4 chances to score, and I've taken 3. I think that is a good average." After that, he was benched for the following league match against Roma, where Inter won, again a 1-0 victory. After the game, coach Mancini said that leaving Icardi on the bench was a tactical decision, adding that Icardi must improve his game. He returned to the starting lineup in the next league match against Torino, where Inter grabbed another 1-0 victory. On the 22nd of November, in his 100th Serie A appearance, he scored in a 4-0 win over the Minnows of Frosinone, helping Inter to seal its biggest victory of the season. On the 13th of December, Icardi netted his first brace of the season, in the 0-4 thrashing of Udinese, benefiting in both occasions from the mistakes of Udinese defenders. In Inter's final match of 2015, Icardi's goal was not enough to avoid the 2-1 home loss against Lazio. But still the team managed to end the year in the first place. At the end of the year, Icardi was ranked the 82nd best footballer in the world by the English newspaper The Guardian. On the 6th of January 2016, Icardi finished Ivan Perisic's cross from close range for the only goal away against Empoli, putting Inter on top of Serie A. A month later, on the 3rd of February, he scored his 50th Inter goal in all competitions in a 1-0 home win over Chievo, returning Inter to its winning ways after 4 consecutive matches. In February 2016, it was reported by several newspapers that Inter had rejected a €30 million bid from Manchester United to sign Icardi. On the 9th of April, he scored his 50th Serie A goal in a 1-0 away win over Frosinone, making his 100th Inter appearance in the process. 2016-17 season. Icardi started the season on the 21st of August by playing in the 2-0 away defeat to Chievo in the opening league match, and scored his first goal of the season a week later during the 1-1 draw against Palermo at home. On the 11th of September, Icardi scored both goals, including a last-minute winner, as Inter overturned the score against newly promoted side Pescara, for the first win of the season under the new coach Frank de Boer. 1 week later, in the Derby d'Italia match against Juventus, Icardi scored an equaliser in the 68th minute, and provided the Ivan Perisic goal 10 minutes later, as Inter overturned the score again, to beat the lifetime rivals for the first time in league since November 2012. It was Icardi's 7th goal in 8 appearances against Juventus, making thus his favourite opponent to score against. This was followed by a brace in Inter's 2-0 win at Empoli 3 days later, taking the lead of goal scorers table with 6 goals in 6 appearances. It was also the first time that he has scored in 4 consecutive Serie A matches. On the 7th of October, Icardi signed a new contract extension with Inter until June 2021, with a buyout clause of €110 million. With the new deal, Icardi will earn €4.5 million per season plus various bonuses based on his performances, goals and image rights. Shortly after signing the contract, Icardi stated, "I'm really happy to have signed this new contract that will keep me at the club until 2021. My dream is to win trophies with this team. I heard lots of things during the transfer window, as you always do, but the club was on my side. I have my agent and wife Wanda to thank for this renewal and we're all pleased at home." Icardi scored a brace to beat Torino 2-1 at the San Siro, giving Inter their first win in their last 5 games. Then, he continued with his outrageous form, scoring back-to-back home braces against Crotone and Fiorentina. In the last match of 2016, Icardi scored another brace against Lazio to help Inter finish the year on a high. He finished the first part of the season with 14 goals and 5 assists, being the most efficient striker in top 5 leagues, overtaking stars such Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. The Guardian named him the world's 49th best player, winning 33 positions compared to last year's ranking. On the 15th of January 2017, in the 3-1 home win against Chievo, which was the 5th consecutive win in league, Icardi scored his 15th league goal of the season, becoming the first Inter player to score at least 15 goals in 3 consecutive seasons since Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Christian Vieri. On March 12, Icardi scored a hat-trick against Atalanta, bringing his tally to 20 goals for the season. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?